Sick. We are live. Glory to Jesus Christ. Jordan, how's it going?
Dude, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. It's almost been a month.
I know. Has it been a month since our last live stream?
I think it's been 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
I think we had Pine Sap was the last stream, and then it was like we had
Chaos.
like 1 week off, and then you got Nick sick, and then
yeah, that's what. Yes, Sede Picante. I'll DM you. I meant to DM you back. Sorry.
I literally started and finished a cut. Both. I started a cut like our last episode, and I finished it like last week. So we've got a full mini cut without any podcasts, and it's all your fault.
Rip. I know it is. It is all my fault. It's my bad. I think one of the days was we did take a week off because we were all cooked. I think it was right after the whole what do you want to call it? Drama, you could say, on X. The X
my
drama.
Lawsuit. Right after my lawsuit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's been finished up now. I won't get into it too much. I wasn't completely satisfied with the apology, but I'm just gonna move on because I don't feel like talking about it anymore, to be honest. I'm sick of that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like we've gone through, I think when one of the weeks where we were off, I was on that big Gaza stream with Caleb.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy that me and Caleb were on there. It was you just have like this whole stacked roster, and it's just like these two random guys. Thursday asked me if I want to go on. I was like, sure, why not?
Dude, I think you guys might have had the wildest comment section for your bits.
Dude, it's all my seed friends. I mean, they're all ready to go, and I appreciate them because they're hilarious. But I think Thursday was having a meltdown because our chat was so cooked.
Dude, that chat was wild because you had like a lingering chat from the guys that know us from like Wagner and stuff like that. And so they were in the chat. But then you also had our Siege friends who were in the chat and AB friends that were in the chat. And it was just a mixture of the funniest people interacting with one another.
It was the best, man. And then we got the Wagner cancellation that happened. I feel like I need to talk about that a little bit.
You need to talk about the Wagner cancellation.
Because I was getting canceled too a little bit because I went nice on them. I know, guys. I lost my edge a little bit. I think the whole Wretched Saints drama and the fallout from that kind of made me lose my edge a little bit, and I went a little soft on that selfie they posted. But I think it's just because Wagner like was staring into my soul in that selfie. I was like, I can't like critique the selfie for like everybody being like overweight and disheveled. I have to like Wagner's like telling me, no, you need to be on the team. And I was like, all right, we're locked in. It was the eyes. The eyes were like laser focused on me. So I was nice, and then people called me a simp. Especially because religious hippie follows me.
That's true. That's true. And she follows Taffy. Let's not forget that Taffy has been got.
Yeah. Well, there's things to be said about that. So I think I understand the impulse to not want to interact with these people and to lash out against them constantly. And like, I agree with a lot of that sentiment. I mean, I've been probably the most vocal critic of most of those people on Twitter, and I'm going to continue to critique them. I mean, it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop just because they follow me or because I've talked to them. If they do something stupid, I'm going to tell them they're doing something stupid. Now I can overlook some like smaller things just because it's not worth getting into a fight over. But if they're doing some crazy stuff, I will still continue to go after them. But I think the broader point here is we got Wagner at basically a mini Catholic Answers event. And that's like a W. You have me, a literal SSPX guy, on stream. On the same stream as Joe Heschmeyer. That's a W. I don't care who follows me or anything. That's some Overton window shifting right there. So we take the W's when we can get them. It's, our culture that we have wasn't lost through like a great like populist revolution, and it's not going to be won through a populist revolution. It was lost by institutions being flipped slowly one after another. First they came from the universities, then they came for corporate America, and it just kept going and going. They went to Hollywood, blah blah. And if we're serious about returning traditional Catholicism, the more autistic Thomist element of Catholicism to the mainstream, then we're going to have to do it the same way. That's just how politics works nowadays. You have to go through infiltration. Elections a single election doesn't really do anything in America, just with how our politicians refuse to, exercise, their will to power. The way we do this thing is you have to have this counter infiltration of these institutions. And that's kind of what they were doing there. I might be over strategizing here, but like just the very fact that you're exposing these large audiences of normies to someone like Wagner, which Wagner did. If y'all saw that part of the stream, like he did pretty good. He was cooking. He was entertaining. He was funny. He's personable. And I think Fuentes actually talked about this. I know he's the boogeyman, but like you need to appear not totally autistic. You need to tone down the tism a little bit. Sometimes you have to, act more agreeable than you may actually be to get these larger audiences to, check someone out like that. And, it's not always going to feel clean. You're not always going to feel like you're this hero rebel shouting, but like people like Alex Jones who are like that, they get laughed at. I mean, they're literally a joke. And like, we love Uncle Alex, but like he literally gets laughed at. I mean, he's a meme. So you have to kind of play the game a little bit with optics. Because if you want power, you have to move like those who hold power move. I don't know. That's just my little 2 cents on the infiltration movement. I think I think people were giving Wagner a lot of crap for it, which is fair. Oh yeah. I need to talk about that too.
Wait. Before we get there, before we sidebar. Zealot's Den. Dude, we would love. I haven't heard about you, but would any opportunity for us
to go on any show.
And help you and like you help us, like we'd love that.
It's not snowing, but I'm cold. I know I have a fan on behind me. It's like not even 100 this week. It's crazy for August.
Dude, we would love to get super chats. Just continue to get us subscribers and we'll get super chats.
Continue to shill for us, please.
Continue to shill, but show up in Wagner and AB streams and continue to shill for us.
I think I got those two, to be honest. But we're
gonna
have a lot of guests on here, guys. We have a lot of people who are willing to come on, so it's gonna be a pretty busy couple of weeks.
It's cool. We're pretty much everyone's favorite Zoomers. Like
everybody loves us. We're the most handsome Catholic show on the internet. We have the most mustaches per capita of any Catholic show.
That's true. You, me, John, Caleb, we all have mustaches.
We all have mustaches. It's the Zoomer mustache. It's the Zoomer stash. Did you see Unk like cooked mustaches today?
He did.
It was a rare L take from Unk.
Dude. We hate to see it. Although this is the same guy that posted a picture of him with White Claw. So I had
That
to.
was a W. That was
Dude,
base.
I hate White Claw. Dude,
Okay,
I will.
White Claws are like they taste like TV static.
Yeah.
Like they taste kind of like a LaCroix with like alcohol in it.
Yes.
But I respect anybody who just drinks a girly drink as a dude. I respect that. I don't do the bourbon LARP. I know I have a bottle of bourbon behind me, but I haven't opened it. It's expensive. I'm not touching it.
Bourbon
I'm
LARP.
literally, yes, I'm calling you out, Tony. This is going to continue to
literally,
happen.
literally, as I take a sip of bourbon.
It's the bourbon LARP.
Mm-mm.
I don't
Dude,
even
how
drink.
can you
I
say
drink
this?
water.
You're literally in North Carolina. That's like bourbon capita. One of them.
We make moonshine here.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But I will always go to town for bourbon. I don't care what anybody says. So good. It's so good.
I like bourbon. I don't like the I just don't like LARPing. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
I see a lot of people with the bourbon and the cigar, like the Voice of Reason episode with Matt Pratt. I know he's the boogeyman. We're not supposed to say his name. I'll say his name. That was gay. He didn't know how to smoke a cigar. It was obvious. Another L for Voice of Reason.
All right.
All right. I'm done. I'll not take myself sued.
We want to continue streaming. No. I will agree though. I don't like it when it becomes a LARP. But the problem is I do enjoy those things. I just try not to post about. That's what you have to distinguish. Like you can enjoy those things, you can like those things, but don't try to be on camera enjoying those things because then it becomes a LARP. And I know I'm saying that as I'm drinking it, but I'm not sitting here like holding my glass, and like
you're like
and,
swing,
like looking,
kind of like making an ice, like
yeah,
a little
twisting
bit,
my mustache, like putting ice in it,
making
like
a big puff of smoke, pulling it in the camera, like it's so gay. I don't mind if you consume it. I don't mind. It's just like, and I had like the first episode I was on here, like it's an actual episode. I talk about LARPing for like an hour straight.
Yeah.
So go watch that episode if you haven't. There are good kinds of LARPing and bad kinds of LARPing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's kind of like that, the faux masculinity kind of sphere. They're like, oh, you got to buy like the Dr. Squatch soap because it's the manly soap. You got to drink the bourbon,
And we should come back to that because that's important because they did like they kind of twisted their fan base with the whole Sydney Sweeney thing, and that's kind of just making the rounds right now, right? Like, hey, dude, American Eagle, all of that. Like, we'll come back to that, but I agree. There is that, and John disagrees. Like, we were literally just arguing about this in the truck like yesterday or the day before, about he goes, I hate calling it LARPing, and I'm like, whatever. I said, but the reality is the same, right? Like Julius, Caesar is literally sitting there being like, when Alexander was my age, he had already conquered half of his empire. And he's just sitting there like crying his eyes out, being like, I will never be Alexander.
Literally.
So all the great men LARP as other men. So
yeah, it's like it's the will to LARPing is the will to power. It's just you can do it in a gay way. I said I was going to talk about Nietzsche this episode. I have things to say. Oh wait, before we do that, I feel the need to fraternally correct a brother in Christ on stream. Anthony, I heard you went to a Byzantine mass yesterday. What are we doing, bro? We had so many discussions on here about how we're holding back the Byzantine hordes, the Byzantine cockroaches from coming over here, taking over our podcast, and you went and like stabbed me in the back. And you went to a Byzantine mass. Did you even say the Filioque?
I did say the Filioque. And when I received communion, I crossed myself left to right.
All right.
They
I mean, that's a W. I mean,
I looked literally. I stared in Father's eyes and went,
as you should.
and we're because like the thing is they chant everything. And this is an important banner. I have to remind everybody. no bizlarp ever. Yeah, no, I did recite the Filioque underneath my breath. I forgot to mention that to John. And oh no. All right. No, it was a Byzantine mass. I did go to divine liturgy. I did. In fact, this was the divine liturgy that almost made me a Byzantine Catholic in the first place. So I will admit I was doing as my Mexican brothers do, and I decided to bizlarp for the day. And it was a beautiful mass, But I will say I was sitting there, not sitting there because you stand the entire time. They don't have any pews. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, no, I still prefer the Latin mass at this point.
As you should. As you should.
It was. Don't get me wrong. Like this over and over Soto, all day. Like all day.
No, because I can't have you go east too, because then it's not the Latin Slavs anymore. It's just the Byzantine Slavs, and I'm just here.
It's just the Bizlarper Slavs. It's just
I had a serious crisis. My conscience was struggling yesterday because I was like, first he gets exposed for being a massive simp, and he goes viral on Twitter for being a simp, and then he literally doesn't do our episode because he's a simp that week, and then like the very next week, he goes to a Byzantine mass, and I'm like, what is he doing,
dude?
I was like, John is taking him down a dark path.
You sure? No. He tried to make me Byzantine. I love him. He's, my best man, always will be. But I couldn't abandon my Latin roots. In fact, I gained a goddaughter this week, and that was pretty sick. But that was pretty sick. My wife and I, we now have a goddaughter. So now we have to spoil her in all the Latin ways. So every gift she will ever receive will be a Latin gift to let her know. In fact, at one point we were talking to her and we were joking around, John and I, and he was mentioning biz nonsense, or as I like to call it now, Eastern hypnotherapy. And he was trying to give his daughter nonsense, right? And I realized that the Latinness, I have to persuade her to be a Latin. And I mentioned something, and she smiled. So
W.
And he's like, "Oh, don't smile at that."
The children love the Latin mass. Children cry at Byzantine liturgies. They just do. Children hate Byzantine masses. The SSPX babies don't cry. That's actually like Lefebvre talks about this. That's just a fact.
He does talk about that.
All right. I'm done cooking you for now. I might come back to it later. I think that's enough for today.
You know how funny it is though? Like how many people were commenting on like the simping stuff, and they were like, they genuinely thought that was.
Oh yeah.
Me. And
I saw it the day before it went viral, and I thought about tagging you in it, and then I was like, you know what? We've done this before, because the same post went viral like a couple months ago. Because all these slop accounts do is just recycle the same post over and over again. But it was funny how many people thought it was you.
Dude, it was hilarious. Like there was people commenting, and some of them were a little harsh. I was like, you guys do know, like that's not me. Like,
they don't
looks like me.
They don't. They're just stupid. I love that.
It was funny. And you feel bad for the guy, because the big accounts that got a hold of it, that are more on the right, they were funny about it too, because they're like, yeah, this is the type of behavior that gets you cheated on. And you're just like, buddy. Yeah, it's kind of true.
Yeah.
Kind of true. In today's day and age, like you save that type of behavior for your wife. Like,
yeah,
being like over the top romantic, like your wife should be the only person that gets that treatment.
Simping gets you nowhere.
Yeah.
It putting women on a pedestal is a way to be a footstool for them. Never simp, never goon. Those are just rules. And if you're a simp, you're disgusting, and you should repent. it's a mortal sin in my eyes. So it's also gay. So don't simp, don't goon, don't go to a Byzantine mass. Those are on the same level, guys.
No. All right.
Moving on.
The poor,
I mentioned
those poor Byzantine Catholics that watch us that are just like, hey, now.
They take some strays. Usually John's on here to defend them from us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. John's
not here tonight, guys.
He's not here tonight, but John's typically here being like, yo, all right.
He's not here to balance me out. I'm going. I said I was going to embrace the tism today, and I'm ready to go.
This is true. This is true. And we also have to, we kind of also have to put down, not put down, but roast Byzantine Catholics, because our the New Crusade is a Byzantine Catholic, Bizlarper, and he has both. He has more followers than both of us, so it's important that we keep him humble.
You got to keep him humble. Can't let it get to his head. He's already got a big head, anyways, so we gotta.
Dude, he doesn't. Poor guy. It's just all that hair, man. All that hair.
Yeah, all the hair. All that Latino hair that he has.
That's true. That Mexican hair.
I don't have a receding hairline. It stayed this height. I just have a massive forehead because my brain is huge. That's just the truth.
That's true. That's what being a Nietzschean gets you. A massive brain.
I read the gay science. My brain just grew to this size, and I've just been cursed. So I mentioned in that rant earlier about some of these slop accounts that just recycle the same post over and over again. And I got into some beef with one of these this week, actually. And I think it revealed something to me that I already kind of knew, but I just want to reiterate for the world.
Yeah.
So the account I'm talking about is called The Art of Purpose, but there's a bunch of other accounts like that post the same kind of crappy content in air quotes there. I think of like Trad West. I can think of Gigabase Dad. There's hundreds of these accounts, and they'll typically all follow each other, retweet each other, because they just do this because they can farm the algorithm for money. Yeah. And some of them are better than others. Like Trad West, like the guy, I think his memes are cringe, but like he does actually put effort into the memes. He doesn't just like take 2 pictures and say, "Is this a win?"
Yeah.
So like some of them put more effort into others, but like this guy, Art of Purpose, he's just an arrogant little dick. And I know, charity, right? Charity, but he is, and he's in his bio. I'll read his bio. Because his bio is iconic. I am a millionaire educator that is turning X into my personal art gallery.
Yeah. It's it's a bit much, right? Like I'm not gonna get involved in the beef, but I will say this. Those slop apologetics, you just gotta stop. Like, I don't care who it is. It's just dumb. Like, actually, like that's why I don't mind Trad West as much, because you're right. He does actually put effort into his memes. Like, I don't think they're funny most of the time. I think he does have a couple of bangers. Every once in a while, he will kind of stumble onto gold, and he'll release a banger, and it's pretty nice. But for the most part, I never liked Art of Purpose's account, because I just thought I thought the same thing, right? Like that Hollywood supermodel versus random Catholic cashier versus, and then he recycles it. He says random Hollywood supermodel, and then like white lady in a ad. And it's like, it's the same person. Like, you just roasted the same person.
His account is just gooner bait. It's just gooner bait. You'll notice it's always, whenever he posts like a woman, whenever he posts like a transformation or whatever, which he's made the exact same post, basically, just a different picture 5 times in the last month. I counted 5 times in a month. Crazy. All right. That's too many times. That's like when Religious Hippie tweeted ban porn 7 times in 1 month. I remember these things. That's too much. Be a little bit more original. That's all I'm asking for here.
Yeah.
But like the hubris you have to have to post that kind of repetitive slop where all you do is you take a picture, and I don't even know if these people are real like conversions. Yeah. To be honest, he could just be using a filter on them to put like them in goth aesthetic and then take them out. I don't know. All he does is put his little art of purpose thing around it, and then the caption is just, "Is this a win?"
Yeah,
that's it. and you're gonna call that you turning X into your personal art gallery? What kind of ego? What is that art? That's not art. That's garbage. What are we talking about here? What are we doing? Like, it's ridiculous. And I can't with the ego. Like, he's acting like, oh, people love this stuff. They see this, it encourages them. If I'm gonna be honest here, if you unironically like art of purpose, I would tell you to go get a lobotomy, but I'm not sure you can because the brain is just not there. All right. I don't, you have to be a mindless lemming. All right. Like, I get it if there's an occasional, banger or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, if you're liking those tweets, what are we doing, dude? What are we doing? You have no context. It's just a picture. Like, what if I just posted a picture? All right. And it's just like a, 500-pound obese guy, and then just a random other guy who's jacked. And I'm like, is this a win? Like, what are we doing? What is this for? What is this for? It's just ridiculous. And then today, he goes on this like rant because I've been cooking him the last couple of days, which is funny because my account, significantly smaller, but I've been ratioing him on some of his posts, which is hilarious because I know that pisses him off because he's all about numbers. And he's been on a crash out.
Yeah.
And now he's unfollowing people, ironically, for low effort posts. I'm just like, dude. Like, what?
Yeah, well, it's like, dude, where's the self-awareness? Like, where's the self-awareness? If you're posting the same pic, you're just recycling the same picture over and over again. What are we doing? And then you're gonna say, oh, I'm gonna unfollow you for low effort posts. It's like, all right, so
cool.
Your posts aren't low effort because of how many followers you have, but somebody else's posts are low effort because of how many followers they have. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah,
here?
I mean, it's ridiculous. He doesn't have any sort of self-awareness at all. But like, he was coming back at me, and he was like, I posted something under one of his posts with the "is this a win?" I like posted all the pictures from all the times he's posted that in the last month, and he's like, you kept receipts and are on my page. That's fanboy behavior, not criticism. I'm like, dude, I don't even follow you. I literally don't. I am just on here to troll you because I know it pisses you off.
Yeah.
And if I'm trying to convince these people that follow you to not follow him, but mindless lemmings. Again, we'll get into this a little bit with the Nietzsche later, but it's been funny. It's been a funny day because I've just been a lot of these accounts, and I'm not saying Trad West or Art of Purpose are Indian, because I don't actually think they are, based on the research I've done, which, trust me, I have nothing to do at work. This is what I'm doing. I don't think they are, but none of them will post to hand docs. A lot of these accounts are run by Indians. All right, guys. I'm speaking to you, Art of Purpose. I'm speaking to you, Trad West. I'm speaking to you, Gigabase Dad, all you guys, speaking directly to you. If you want to dispel the Indian allegations, here's what you got to do. All right. You write your username on your hand, post a picture of your hand. Then you're not doxing yourself. You're just posting your hand. The only people who won't do this, or you can curse Vishnu if you want. That's easier. The only people who won't do this is people who are fat, because they're obese, or people who are Indian, and it takes 5 minutes. So there's my advice to you: do that. They're not going to do that because they are Indian or fat. So there you go. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I've been fighting a war.
No, it's just annoying, because if that's true, then these aren't even accounts that are based in the US. They're accounts. Well, okay, the owner of the account might be in the US, but they've essentially sold out in the sense of like they're having somebody in India run the account for them, or they're like paying somebody to run the account for them. Or maybe they just are. I don't know. Like I genuinely don't know. But
yeah,
like if they do this and they're not from the US, and yet they're claiming like this trad whatever, that's the dumbest.
Trad West, yeah.
It's like that's ridiculous.
Also, the audacity of this guy who just posts art of purpose. It just posts like this complete cookie cutter, nonsense content.
Yeah.
He sells courses for people to grow their Twitter accounts. Do you want to know what the price of these courses is?
I saw the price. The price.
It's $500 a year.
Mm-hmm.
$500. And you know what? You know what's even crazier? He's got like 330 people who have signed up to take these courses.
Yeah, well, I mean, who wants to pay $500 a year for like basic info that you could get off YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a guy on YouTube doing all of this for free, showing you how to run the algorithm, right? Just some guy in his basement. He's like, I don't care, but if you want to gain followers, here's like 10 tips, right? And he's just showing people how to do it.
Yeah, I think one of his arguments against me yesterday was, if it's not good, then why does the algorithm promote it? And I'm just like, the algorithm literally promotes porn. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, what are we doing? Yeah, only the low price of $500 a year, guys. It's yeah.
And he does, to be fair to him though, he does have different prices. He does have like $20,
$49 a month.
Yeah, but like, no, you're right. The one, like his actual like full on course that he does is $500 a year, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and it is.
Yep.
It's just, I don't know. I've stopped caring. Like I've genuinely, like my brain one day just like, that lizard meme where he's just like lizard, mm-hmm. Right? Like my brain literally just shut off one day when I was scrolling on Twitter, and it was just that. It was just the lizard meme, and I was like, all right, I can't do this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the level of brain power of the people who consume his content, to be honest. Like there's not much going on there. And I kind of got into this with my post last night. One of the this might be Nietzsche time, guys. One of the more controversial things Nietzsche talks about, that he gets a lot of flack from Christians about, is the master-slave morality. And I feel like this case really demonstrates slave morality in a way for people to understand a little bit better. So I'll kind of define. I'll give y'all some lore about Nietzsche, because I think it's probably a little bit, you probably don't all know what I'm talking about. So for Nietzsche, master morality, it comes from someone's strength, their vitality, their confidence, and it's what the master, typically the Ubermensch, whatever, deems good that which expresses his power, nobility, Ubermensch behavior, and he doesn't require approval. So basically, what is good is what affirms that. So strength, vitality, confidence. And slave morality arrives from resentment and weakness. All right. So you have basically it flips the values of the strong because the weak cannot attain what the strong can. And instead it demonizes these good values. And it deems certain things which Nietzsche looks down upon, like humility, pity, passive endurance, as good, and it defines itself reactively to the powerful. And Nietzsche, he gets a bad rap from Christians, and rightfully so. But I think sometimes Christians are too cowardly to confront this, and that's what most of what passes as virtue in the modern West, especially the secular modern West, especially online, is just weakness pretending to be good. And it's, it flips the natural order where excellence, nobility, hierarchy, will are, looked down upon, and instead you elevate victimhood. We promote these people who had like bad things happen to them. We do all these GoFundMe's, mediocrity, submission to the powers that be, whatever. Now here comes, exactly what that comment said. But yeah, here comes like the uncomfortable part here is we'll have a lot of Catholic influencers and people in the Catholic sphere who will just baptize slave morality and they'll call it evangelization. This is what, like, when people like post these just like, Pinterest tier saint quotes, the fake soft empathy towards people. I think of like Lila Rose as a good example, like the fake empathy. It doesn't feel real. It's not, that stuff doesn't lead souls to Christ because it's inauthentic. It's instead just soothing those who are spiritually obese. And it's not only cringe, it's also not good. Like it's genuinely dangerous. Because the thing that Nietzsche misses with Christianity, I think, because he's blinded by, he has a father wound there because his dad was a Lutheran minister. But like, this is a rare L for Nietzsche. But he misses that Christianity, when properly executed, and properly lived, it doesn't affirm weakness. Christ comes and he redeems our weakness and he transforms it into his strength. So we pick up our cross, we unify our suffering with him. The gospel is not, which is what some people, with this humility mindset will say, it's not, stay small and God will love you in your smallness. Instead it's pick up your cross, die to death, complete death to yourself, and rise again as something greater. It's that, magnanimity that we talk about here often, which I think is often lacking in our sphere. And it's a problem, and I think it's indicative in this kind of slop apologetic space. Because I mean, y'all know like the accounts I'm talking about. They'll post the same things over and over again, with no actual like information about what's going on. Like if he was making a post and he says before Christ, after Christ, and then like in the comment, like below it, he like provides some information like this is Rebecca, blah, 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 give some lore, put a little bit more effort in. Maybe I could get behind that. But it's not actually evangelization. You're weaponizing Gooner Brain to promote, and the algorithm to promote that. It's more so you're running like a digital piety Ponzi scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting high off your own engagement metrics, and you're using Christ, imagery of the church, imagery of Catholicism to gain followers and gain money. And you're going to be judged for that. That's just, you're going to have to you'll come to that consequence when we come to Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's annoying, but it also, as Catholics, we have this tradition that is like master morality. I mean, we have the saints, we have, great military leaders, we have great military victories. We have heroics. It's not just your spiritual director therapist. And you like being cowardly. Sorry, Daphne.
I think there's a couple of chats that we should eventually go back to, but
of course,
but that is one of them.
It's like they want the aesthetic of Christ crucified. They want that image, but they don't actually want the crucifixion. They don't want the suffering that comes with that image. So we talk about this a couple of times when like the people, typically women, when they're trying to do evangelization, they'll say, converting to Christianity was a great thing. It changed my life. Everything awesome happened to me afterwards. Nothing bad happened to me anymore. Blah, 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 blah. That's just not true. It's a lie. And you shouldn't tell people that lie, because when they convert and bad things happen, because they will happen because we live in a fallen world, they're going to be like, what the hell? I was told this wasn't going to happen. And it's monetizing the cross without carrying the cross. I just cooked, guys. That was a good line. That was a banger. All right. But Nietzsche's Christianity critique is wrong when it comes to the saints, it comes to the martyrs, because those people had within them those good things of mass morality, right? They weren't slaves. They used their will to power for Christ. But his critique is exactly spot on with these slop peddlers. That is exactly what he's talking about. And it goes for the Protestant engagement farmers, like the Indiana Brummer guy, the Lizzie guy, Danny. They know they're not converting people. They've heard the arguments. You should block them. I'm going to be honest. You should block them, or you should mute them, because they are literally just doing this to farm engagement for money. You should not bother engaging with them. They know what's happening. They know our arguments. I mean, and if they don't, like, they're a little bit too stupid to be reasoned with at this point. I mean, like, they've heard it a million times. And they're intellectually dishonest. So just block them. You're saving yourself some time. And you're not giving them money. The gospel, it's not a safe thing. It's not just about your aesthetics. It wants your life, your entire life. Christ didn't call you to be a, trad engagement farmer on Twitter, who posts, these, is this a win, art and whines about, how hard it is to remain chaste and whatever. He calls you to die to yourself, complete death to self, and then rise again with him. And I think the problem with a lot of these people is there's not much cute with that. It's not kitschy. It's not marketable. The algorithm doesn't like it. Because it's challenging. It's hard. And despite that, it's the only way to actually be saved. The hard way is the way to go. So, like, I guess the thesis is, we don't need more slop. And we don't need more of these like fake converts whose theology is built upon dopamine farming. We need warriors for Christ. And we need people who are Catholic, who don't make it their entire personality, and they influence people in a different way. I think we have too many apologists, and like it gets into some of these people like Cameron Riker, who like I have nothing personally against him.
Mm-hmm.
From all accounts, he seems like a nice guy. He's got a nice family. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think some of his apologetics on YouTube or whatever, I think they're actually pretty good. The problem is he'll make a controversial statement, and he acts as an apologist, so like he's a figure of authority. He'll make a controversial statement. He'll have no elaboration, none, and it's just to farm engagement, and it's annoying because like you're an apologist. So when Protestants see this, they're like they'll just dunk on it. Yeah. And then he won't contend with them at all. And I'm just like, you got to understand when you call yourself an apologist, you are holding yourself to a higher standard.
Mm-hmm.
We need people who look, and even the people watching the stream, you need to look in your mirror and say, I'm going to crush my own mediocrity before I ever dare to call people to repent. Because if your brand is built upon pandering to the lowest common denominator, it's not ministry. It's just engagement farming. It's a grift. And Christ does not like historically when people are profiting off of the name of God. If you remember what he did with some tables in the temple. So, if you continue to do that, that's on you. You'll have to deal with that. That's my Nietzsche ran over. I know there's a lot of lore just being dropped, but it wasn't the worst Nietzsche ran. I could have kept going. It could have been worse.
That's true. You did. I will say to be fair, like I really liked Nick's comment because you started off and I didn't know where you were going with it. And I was like, all right. Before I say anything, I'll let him finish his thought.
Let me cook.
So I had a similar take to Nick because I'm like, where are we going with Nietzsche's slave and master morality and mentality? Because I was like, this is wild. Right?
There's other places I will go with that eventually. One day we'll get there, guys. You guys aren't ready for that yet. Baby steps here.
I mean, like the simplest way is what do you want to call it? Just recognizing the way in which that we make ourselves slaves to sin, like on the daily, right? Like when it comes to what we were talking about earlier with simping and stuff like that. That's a very important distinction, right? Like having self-mastery. But Caleb was wondering about this question.
I'm not a girl dad. I have no children yet. I'm gonna have 15 sons though, so potentially if they exercise the will to power, they become a saint. Sure, why not?
And then let's see, there was another couple of comments that I wanted to bring up. Oh, this one for sure.
That was a rough one because I had a conversation with her and I was like, hey, guys, it's like if you stop posting these on Twitter, you'll lose a lot of heat. I'm trying to help these people out. You lose a lot of heat. And she just does it anyways. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I guess. Sorry. I mean, I tried. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. All these e-girls would need to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna solve their problems for them. Is if they just started blocking people who are simping for them in their comments, I feel like they'd get a lot of clout. I feel like if they just like, not even if they just block on them, but they also dunk on them a little bit, be like, stop simping. You get some clout for that. Now, I don't think you should be on the internet because you're a married woman, but like, at least you'd have a little bit, you get a little bit more respect. I don't know. It's weird. It's a whole weird situation going on with that. I'm there's a plan. I myself am trying to trust it sometimes. It's the struggle sometimes, guys.
It's ridiculous. W stream. Taffy had this to say about staring at the man in the mirror.
You know, Taffy, if you've seen me without a mustache, you'd realize I need it. It's necessary. Maybe when I'm like, you know, when I'm cut down, I'm doing another cut at the end, probably halfway through September for my wedding. When I'm lean, I can probably get away with shaving it, but not when I'm tubby mode right now. I know it's possible, but you know, it's not going to happen. I trust the plan.
Nick says we should grow beards.
You know, what do you think about that, Anthony?
Well, we just kind of went over this.
I was testing you there. I was like, if you were like, sure, let's do it. I was gonna cook you, man, because I was like, you can't just go to a Byzantine mass and then be like next day, like, I'm gonna grow a beard.
I'm gonna grow my beard back. No, it's funny though. My wife, like, she loves my beard. Like, she really does. She hates the mustache. But I keep the mustache because I'm trying to I don't want to say manifest because that's a dumb new age saying, but for lack of a better term, manifest my future job. So I'm like, you know, firefighters, they all have mustaches. They're all known for their mustaches. So I'm like trying to create that environment. But I told her I'll grow the beard back in the winter because it is cold here in South Dakota. So you have to at least give me that. No BizLARP ever, but it's for a survival purpose when it gets to, you know, -40 outside.
Yeah, I mean, I'm too Latin to grow a beard. It won't even happen. I mean,
dude, you can't say that. You can't say that. How are you going to say that when this image exists? You just wait. You keep talking. How can you say that when this image?
Well, I mean, like, Julius Caesar didn't have a beard. Augustus Caesar didn't have a beard. I mean, obviously there's Marcus Aurelius, but he was kind of a loser cuck, beta male. So, you know, I'm ambivalent to the beard question. I mean, I think beards are, you know, they're probably a venial sin, but like, you know, if you still go to the TLM, I think it can wash it away. If you're going to Byzantine mass, I mean, you're going straight to hell, to be honest, guys. Come on.
No.
Man, that's something I should have said on that live stream. That's what I should have said.
Yeah, here we go. You can't be saying
shoot. He cooked me.
Dude, you can't be saying beards are bad when our boy Saint Lefebvre had a beard. You can't be saying that.
Dang. I got cooked.
Dude, look at how goated he is. He's goated.
Remember on that stream where they asked me Nietzsche or Lefebvre, and I compared them to Mary and Jesus.
Dude, when you said I legitimately soy jacked when you said that. I said that and I went my jaw dropped. I went, he did not just say that.
Thursday was like, what?
Dude, Thursday had to go, all right, no.
I believe it.
You know, I thought you'd maybe pull up, you know, a Roman reference, you know, pull up one of the emperors, be like, you know, say
like Augustus or Trajan, you know.
Yeah. Like try to compare them to that. But Jesus and Mary was wild.
That's just how much, you know, I love them, man. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I understand. I got it. Other people didn't get it.
No.
Dude, I'm surprised you didn't catch more flack for that. It kind of flew under the radar, but I just went, dude, we just got over all the Twitter drama.
Dude, I was ready to if Kyle Whittington had reposted that stream, I was going to take that clip and post it. I'm here for the drama, man.
Crazy. I was about to say you're getting ahead of the curve. You're getting ahead of the curve. You know how
yeah, instead of, you know, getting canceled, I'm just going to cancel myself. I think that's better.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's what I say. As long as I don't get not hired by future jobs, I'm like, I'm cool. You know,
Yeah, I mean,
HR person has to come to me and say, "Hey, let's edit that out." Then we're good.
yeah, I will say Lefebvre was, he was in Africa. He was undercover. He's in enemy territory, so he had to have the beard to protect him from,
Yeah,
like all the mosquitoes, the bugs, all that
true.
stuff. It actually protected him from malaria. So
That's true. Malaria from bizlarping, because let's be honest, those Alexandrian rites, they're wild over there. They're crawling, teeming. Not only that, the Muslims are also teeming over there as well. So he was one of them. He was just accepting that this is the culture he has to live in for the time being.
yeah. Yeah, I just thought of a crazy analogy, and it's honestly, it's too crazy to say. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah,
Just
we can save that for the green room, as AB says. It's wild. Also, I'm switching this back to this because we were was having a hard time seeing you. To be completely honest with you. Like my glasses.
I'm camouflaged right now with leather
You're
jacket.
camouflaged.
I said that really bad. I can't speak. My brain is all addled from all the Nietzsche I've been reading. I'm just.
You're going mad. you're committing to the bit.
That's the bit, man. It'd be really funny if I went crazy.
No.
Like really, really funny if I went crazy.
No, it would not. It would not. That would be
like,
that would be detrimental to the. We've already shifted the Overton window. You don't need to like go out of the Overton window.
That would probably hurt the cause, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
it went crazy.
No, it would hurt the cause of bringing in. I don't want to call it traditional Catholicism. I mean, it is, right? But like you said, the fact that a little SSPX guy got on a normie stream is wild.
I don't think they knew, to be honest. I really don't think they knew.
No, they didn't know, because they definitely found out after the Sedes showed up in the chat.
I love y'all. Y'all were making me look a little bad, but it was all right. You made Caleb look bad too, so it was funny.
No,
I haven't had a crash out, Taffy. I haven't had a crash out in many a moon. I'm pretty even keeled. I got a little spicy today with that Art of Purpose guy. He just pisses me off, man. It's just something like.
Yeah. I will say I've been less frequent on Twitter, because more and more I just open it and I just go, "This is so dumb," and I close it, and I like respond to DMs. I respond to you guys, or respond to the boys. I have to like and repost all the boys' stuff, but I genuinely I scroll for 5 minutes and I just go, I could be reading something so much more interesting.
See, I just like embracing the madness at this point. I'm here. Twitter's making me go insane, and I'm here for it. It'd be really funny.
It's skyrocketing the Latin Slavs. Ultimately, that's what's happening. That's
yeah. I mean, me going insane would do great for y'all. So you should be pushing me to do it. It'd be great for the content.
Show up. Your background would be like everything's just like on the floor. You've got the board from what's the Always Sunny. Yeah. So, and you're just sitting there on stream, and you're just like, so Nietzsche, you're like the Nietzsche will to power, and you've got just complete bags under your eyes.
That was literally me with the Wretched Saints Vor stuff. I was piecing everything together, and I was like, I'm not touching the Vor stuff. Blah blah blah. It was.
Yeah.
That was probably the closest I had to a crash out on Twitter.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I was down bad for a week.
I think you might have had a crash out on it was pre the jump, before you jumped on the scene, your meteoric rise in Catholic X. I was there for it. It was, you didn't crash out, but it was kind of a forced crash out, because you had commented on something and you're just like, this is so dumb. And all of these feminists and left-wing ideologists like
Oh man, I remember that.
Yeah, like what did they do? They like mass reported your account and you were suspended for like 2 days or something like
Yeah,
that.
that was fun. That was it was an abortion thing. I was fighting a war. I think I got quote tweeted by an account with like 150,000 followers, like a leftist, and I fought tooth and nail. Here's the thing: if you're gonna get ratioed, you go down fighting. You just got to commit to the bit, you know.
That's true.
And I'm of the opinion that you just don't apologize, publicly ever. So I was right, so I'm continuing that. Never publicly apologize.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't do anything stupid, you don't need to. So don't do something that stupid.
Yeah.
Certain situations, like it probably should be done, you know.
Yeah. You know, so
those already happened.
Yeah, something
sent some weird DMs.
Something that's scandalous. It should be apologized for. Yeah, anything that would cause scandal should always be apologized for.
And now that I think about it, great example of that, which I have plenty to talk about. The Joey Swole situation. How much do you know about the Joey Swole? I know you know.
Always something that rubbed me the wrong way.
I
don't say that because I don't want to completely, crap on Joey Swole. However, like, what did he think was going to happen? I know he wants to be the big brother. Eventually, it's going to backfire.
You know what? You know what it is? Joey Swole is a Slop account. That's what it is. He is Slop. He is the epitome of Slop. He's fitness Slop because all he does, this is what all Slop accounts do, is they pander to the lowest common denominator. So he just tries, he posts some videos, some people being like moderately rude at the gym. And he says, don't do that. That's bad.
Yeah.
And like people like all put him as like he's some kind of hero. Like, dude, he's just like duetting a video on TikTok. Like, what are you talking about? And his like apology on Twitter, like the crash out apology, was so like arrogant. He's like, he said like, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. I was like, get over yourself, dude. Like, you're 38 and you're posting that. Like, what are we doing, bro?
Yeah. Like you what do you want to call it? You made a mistake. You called somebody out that you shouldn't have called out, and they defended themselves rather than let it slide. And other people agreed with them, and they disagreed with you. And you're acting as if you're this, cataclysmic character that everything rides on the decision you're about to make. It doesn't. Like you're a Twitter account.
You're no one. Like, most people don't even know who you are.
Like log off.
You got 10 million followers on TikTok. Congratulations. Cool.
It's that's the other thing that I think it bugs me and gets on my nerves is when people act as if actually Anthony made a great comment about this, about people sliding into your DMs, making you feel like you're the worst person ever, or in the comments. And he goes, it's really easy. You just turn off your phone. He goes, it's literally inconsequential, so long as they're not, coming up to your house and like throwing rocks through your windows and stuff, you're fine.
No, like I was genuinely getting death threats over the Wretched Saint stuff. And I was just trolling them because it's hilarious. Like, you're gonna give me a death threat for that? Yeah. All right. Go for it. Like, it's so lame. Like, just turn off your phone. First of all, you're like a 300-pound bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Who's on, ridiculous amount of steroids. You have more money than you'll ever need. Why is this upsetting you so much? Some trolls. If you apologize, you end up feeding the trolls. If you just said nothing and moved on, you would have been fine.
Yeah.
These things blow over. Like, look at Pine Sap, right?
Yeah.
Pine Sap got canceled. He's fine now. If you things just 2 weeks later, you're good. You just don't say anything. And he just, I think all the trend he took just shrunk his balls up, so he just doesn't have any anymore. And he had to, kowtow to the mob. But like, this is not the first scandal. Honestly, there are way worse scandals with Joey Swole. I mean, he used to send like, Wretched Saints level DMs to like random fitness influencers. I mean, he used to sell supplements that he said would do something and they were just bogus, like rug pulls. There's way worse things to cancel the guy for. I mean, he sells these programs, which, first of all, don't sell fitness programs, guys. You can get fitness program for free. Never buy a program. He sells programs that are terrible. Don't buy programs from people on roids. Like, that's a stupid idea. Like, you can literally take steroids and make more gains than a natural bodybuilder by not even training. So like, don't take programs from guys on roids. Just a general rule.
Just search up Mike Menser and just watch and consume all of the content he's ever put out. Just do that.
Click the link in my bio.
Yeah. Like literally search up Mike Menser, Tom Platz, Majorian Method, and just go from.
No, I mean, there's tons of free programs out there.
Yeah,
that are really good.
So long as they're not like a science-based lifter, you're fine.
Yeah. And like, even I will extend this offer. If you have a program you're interested in running, and you want to know if it's good or not, you can send it to me via DM, and I will get to it. I'll evaluate it, and I'll send it back to you if it's good.
Yeah,
I'll do that for free. I don't care.
Yeah,
I just want help.
Yeah, easiest way is, are you growing? It's like best case. Look at yourself in the mirror. Do you notice significant change? Are you the same you were a year ago? Right. Easiest way to fix that: intensity. Like, just up the intensity, and then you'll notice that you can't stay in the gym for 3 hours, doing nothing. Like, you actually have to get out of the gym in like 45 minutes.
Yeah, and if your intensity is already high, but you're still not growing by the number of sets you're doing, you just increase the number of sets. That's it. You either pump the intensity dial or you pump the volume dial, and you move it back and forth.
Yeah.
And that's really how you progress. Like, I think you've been doing this too, Anthony. The past couple weeks, I've been doing just like 2 sets of everything.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. It's been great. Yeah. It's been awesome. Yeah. And like, if like a lift stalls, which hasn't happened that much, but if it stalls, I'll just add another set.
Yeah.
And then I'll progress the next week.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like in my Majorian method, I talk about this, that's what I talk about with the set ranges. Volume is a switch that you can flip on and off.
Yeah.
I'm not dogmatic in that I think high volume is the best. I'm not dogmatic and I think low volume is the best. I think different people respond to different things, and sometimes you need a change in stimulus. But we always love intensity, so stay intense. And Ryan cooked with that comment.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. Do not follow Dr. Mike Israetel.
Dr. Mike is the worst.
He started off his early stuff. Yeah, watch his early stuff. But
4 or 5 years ago, it was pretty good. The same with Greg Doucette.
But okay, this is my beef with them. You are not bigger than Mike Menser. You're not smarter.
Like, what are we?
Mike Menser? You suck, dude. Like, if that's who you're comparing yourself to, you're not Mike Menser.
Didn't even win a pro card.
You didn't win a pro card.
You didn't even tan for your show.
Take a look at 1980 Mr. Olympia that should have gone to Mike Menser, and say, honestly say to yourself, yes, I am bigger than that. Because if you say that, go to therapy. Talk to a therapist.
I mean, he's a joke.
Because, like, that's ridiculous. What a dumb statement. Like, what a dumb statement.
Genuinely do not listen to Mike Israetel at all. He is actually the worst fitness influencer, which is crazy because like 3 or 4 years ago, I probably would have said he's like in the top 10. But he's genuinely gone down this route for clout, for money. I mean, he promotes steroids. He's been doing the peptide stuff. It's just ridiculous. Genuinely ridiculous.
That's like like S tier rage bait for me is to mention Mike Rissetel, because the first thing that comes into my mind is the Mike Menser comment.
He also said, I think he said like Ronnie Coleman would have bigger legs if he trained like I trained. It's like, get over yourself, dude. What are you? Have you coached any Olympia competitor ever? Have you coached anyone? Because Jared Feather's the one that does all the coaching. It's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
At least Jared Feather's an IFBB. Like, what do you?
Yeah. Well, and
this is a short little Jew.
If you can produce somebody that has bigger quads than Tom Platz, then I'll listen to you. You know?
Yeah.
Like give me a guy that has Tom Platz level of quads, and then I'll be like, yeah, you're right. Ronnie Coleman would have had bigger quads if he would have trained with you. But you don't. Like, you don't have that guy. So like, shut up. Don't you dare.
Don't touch the goat.
Ronnie. Don't touch Ronnie. you don't get to touch him. I can't stand. There's like levels that of there. See, this is my rage bait. Right? If when it comes to weightlifting, right? Somebody says something to me, and they're like, if you just do this or you do that, you'd be a better stimulus or whatever. I like look at them and I go, you're smaller than me. You lift less weights than me. I'm not listening to you. Because if it works, then why aren't you as big as me? Why aren't you lifting more weight than me?
Yeah. I think there's something to be said with that. I mean, like, if they're on roids, obviously it's a different circumstance, because like I'm not kidding, like anybody can grow on roids. It just depends on your response to the individual steroids. But like, it's like you'll get like these 14-year-olds who watch like one Jeff Nipper video, and they think that suddenly like they're the king of science-based lifting, and they know better than people who have been training for like 5 to 10 years. I'm just like, all right, dude. Like, if I look back on my lifting journey, the first probably 2 years wasted because I was training like an idiot. So just have a little bit of intellectual humility and be like, you know what? I don't know everything yet. Because I probably made the more gains in the past 2 years than the previous 3 before that. I mean, just because you figure out how to pull those volume and intensity levers to actually grow. You figure out what works for you. Because, and I know the optimal crowd and the science-based crowd doesn't like this, but there is not just one answer for everybody. Different people grow from different training styles. I mean, compare the training style of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Dorian Yates. Like, exact opposite. Schwarzenegger, high proximity away from failure, high volume, just pump work. Dorian Yates, blood and guts, intensity, rah. And they both won Mr. Olympia. They both got huge. So some of that's just steroids, but like different things work for different people. And your body may react to different things. There's a very good video by Jeffrey Verity Schofield on YouTube. He's a great natural fitness influencer. He's huge. And it's called like the 4 like lifting body types or whatever. And he kind of goes through like 4 different categories people's bodies typically fall into, or they might be archetypes. And it kind of lays out different approaches that will work for those people. It's a very good video. I recommend. Damn, you cooked them. The New Crusade didn't come on here today because he was too busy doing cardio to get lean.
Dude, he's freaking doing cardio. Couldn't be me. Actually, I will talk about cardio. The one thing that really pisses me off too, and a lot of bodybuilders will say this, and they'll talk about how like if you do cardio, you won't gain as much muscle. And to what extent? I'm not running ultra marathons. Like if you told me that and you were saying like you run ultra marathons, you're not gonna like put on muscle. Sure.
Yeah.
But 15 minutes on the Stairmaster, I'm not gonna put on muscle. Like, what are you
can also just eat more. like, like it's not like you're doing like a crazy, like, 15 minutes on a Stairmaster, 30 minutes incline treadmill. That's like 250 calories max, maybe 300.
Yeah.
Okay, you can have 4 Oreos, and that's 240 calories. There you go. Offset. I mean, like, it also is the exact opposite of being true, because when you do cardio while you're lifting, typically, and there's not been much science behind this other than like some studies, typically you will gain a higher ratio of muscle cells versus fat cells. And that depends on training age and other factors, but
Yeah.
typically you should do cardio while you're bulking. I do cardio while I'm bulking.
Yeah.
It also is just good for your heart. Your heart's a muscle too. Train it.
Yeah.
And train it to failure. Smoke some cigarettes, drink some White Monster. This is medical advice.
Throw on a couple pouches here and there. It's good for you. No, but and for something that I noticed is I kind of started buying into the whole not doing cardio all that much, and I ended up hurting my knee, and because of that, I realized my knee feels great when I do cardio every day. Like my knee doesn't hurt. I don't have this like pain in my knee. But when I don't, and I'm just doing the bro, what's his Dom? When I'm doing like the Dom, no cardio ever, right? Like never train your legs. Like my knee sucks, and I hate it so much. I can't squat as much. I can't deadlift as much. But when I walk, when I do the Stairmaster, it feels great. And
it's good for your joints.
It's good for your joints. And I think this is good. This is good. It's a good segue into probably the preview of next week. If you can't run a mile without dying, you won't survive the decline of America. So true, right? One of my favorite accounts on Twitter, like not a Slop poster, but he's one of those. I don't think he's a Catholic guy, but he's one of those guys that really inspired me to start like focusing more on VO2 and zone 2 training. And he's talking about like, yeah, muscles are great. They're fun. Like it's great to lift in the gym. He goes, but if like those muscles are just for show and they can't do anything, he's like, it's kind of like the lamest thing that you can do.
Yeah.
He goes because then it's just all for show. You can't do anything. Versus somebody like Franco Columba, who was huge, ginormous, right? And was extremely athletic. There's this crazy video that he posted of Franco Columba of just, one day he's working at the shop in Italy and a car essentially gets backed in. It completely gets paralleled in. So he's completely blocked in, can't go forward, can't go backwards. Franco Columba, no warm up, just like goes out there and just deadlifts the car and moves it. And moves it for him to be able to back out and get out of there. And he's just like, he didn't need a warm up. He was just ready because of the way in which he trained, the way in which he lived. He was ready to just be able to just deadlift, like 500 pounds and get that car out of there. But he was also able to do other things too. And so I think that's something. When it comes to next week's talk, it's going to be on muscular Catholicism. When it comes to that, it's important to not just be like the physical. The physical is a outlet for ultimately the spiritual, right? Like your physical life, what you're trying to like essentially visualize and materialize what's going on in the spiritual life, right? You're like trying to get spiritually yoked as well, to just use, as Mike Pantilia likes to say, meathead theology, right? To use meathead theology terms, you're trying to get spiritually yoked. And that's why it's so important to constantly watch the spiritual life. Constantly, is this a spiritual delusion, right? You don't have to be hypervigilant, right? Don't be unhealthy about it. Don't be so scrupulous that you can't even focus on anything other than your sin. You need to be focusing on God's love for you and materializing that, right? Like becoming that physically dangerous in the sense of you're able to genuinely help others, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't need more Catholic men creating slop content online, right? We don't need more Catholic men that make it their whole personality in the sense that, and this goes across the board for everybody. Some sedes do this. Some, R&R guys do this. Normies do this. And practically everybody across the board on Catholic Twitter, you'll find an account that fits this bill, but it's their whole personality is Catholicism. But it's not in the sense of I'm living out my Catholicism and it's changing me. It's more of just like a jacket that they wear to get friends, like to be popular, to get followers.
It's a skin suit.
It is something that they put on when they go on to Twitter. And I'm not saying they take it off when they get off Twitter. I'm not going to be the guy that's like, yeah, they're taking it off. They might be, like this might just be something that they do because they like having friends, right? And they might not even believe any of this, right? Like they might not believe any of it, but it's just as Tommy said. I'll translate it to.
They do it to get hosed.
Yeah.
I'll say it. I mean, that's what it is.
They do it. Yeah, they do it to get girls, right? Like they might be just doing it because they're trying to find a wife. They might just be doing it because they're trying to get popular, trying to get a big name on Twitter. And they might lie to themselves and just say, no, like I truly believe this, right? Like I go to my CMRI chapel, I go to my SSPX chapel, I go to my FSSP church, I go to my local Novus Ordo, I go to this, I go to that, whatever it is, and they completely lose the plot, right? They lose their soul in it, and it's these terrible stories where you just hear them apostatize to this, that, or the other, and then they talk about how, so I'm so much more spiritually well fed, and it's like, well, you weren't spiritually well fed in the first place,
Yeah.
You're
just LARPing.
You're LARPing. You're buying into all of this spiritual delusion, and you've completely lost what this is all about, right? Like you completely lost that this is all about salvation, getting to heaven, right? Becoming a saint. And too much of Twitter can lead to that, right? Like regardless, like social media is not going to get you to heaven. It's fun. It's enjoyable. You can find really like motivational things there. You can find like, like Majorian and I were just talking a few seconds ago, like you can find great weightlifting content, right? Like great stuff that will help you grow in the gym. But then again, if the gym is the end, and like in terms of using philosophical terms, if that's your goal is just the gym to look good, you've just welcome to vanity, right? welcome to the worship of Apollo. You're gay now, right? Like you just want to oil up your body to look perfect. I don't know. You're worshiping self, right? Because
you're gonna start looks maxing.
Yeah, like you like looks maxing, all that stuff. Good things when they're like properly ordered, but when they're ends in of themselves and they're not trying to get you to heaven, you're just dying. Like you're just
true. The puppets really bring them out. Hoes love puppets, guys. This is a fact. I don't know. There's just like it's weird because like they'll put on this act as like this Catholic guy, to respectfully get hoes, but like there are so many easier ways to get hoes, guys. Like take a shower, lift some weights, shave, put yourself together. Stop putting women on a pedestal. Treat them like they're actual human beings, even if the agency question's still out there, but like they're actual human beings, and then have a conversation, be funny, and that's it. It's not that hard. Certain Catholic influencers, are very public about their struggle to get hoes and or find a wife. And I just, you're just giving people things to troll you over. I mean, it's a struggle, and I feel bad for you for it. But
how about here's the thing. How about don't talk about it online?
What is it? Does it help you at all? I don't get it. Like, you're just complaining.
How about
being a little bitch?
Dude, 100%. I hate to say it. Like, I hate that content because I'm going to be honest with you. I was that guy. I was that guy. I was the dumbest. Like, I was the dumbest simp, before I became Catholic. And even like shortly after I became Catholic, I was so dumb. I was being an idiot. And that type of content would have like been great at the time, but now being out of that and really like kind of really obtaining this like Teddy Roosevelt mindset of like being terrified of weakness and like obsessed with strength. I hate those posts. I hate those
so
videos. Dude, do you want to? Okay, a girl watches that and she goes, gross.
Her ovaries dry up. Like, it's literally like there's no child being. That is the most disgusting thing, is being like one of those like contemptible. Women want strength. They want strength. They want someone that can protect them. Don't act like a victim. Like, I get you have those thoughts, and I get it. It sucks, and that sucks. Whatever. But like, who is this for? Is this going to help you? At all?
If you're gonna talk about it, there's a way. Fine. If you really feel compelled that your audience is similar to you, is young Zoomer men that are like, that's fine. Like, here, let's put it this way: if you're talking about the dangers and the struggle of young Gen Z men trying to date, and you're just framing it as that, and you're giving your evidence as a young Gen Z male, I'm fine with that. But if the video comes off in any way, shape, or form as like a whiff of like, I'm just struggling so hard to find.
I'm such a nice guy, and
I'm
like,
such a nice guy.
There's no good girls out there. No girls will give me a chance. And like,
I have 2 degrees. I like, or on the opposite side, you're going like, I work a really good job. I have a house. I own all this stuff.
I have a 401k. Like, they don't care.
You're not confident. You're not a confident human being. You gain some self-respect. Like, do something that makes you feel like, do something that when you watch one of those like testosterone aesthetic like vids, you go, hell yeah, like I'm one of those
me.
guys. Yeah, like that's me. That's literally me. If you can find something that makes you feel that way, and it's not for getting a girl, it's not for vanity, it is genuinely like the end is getting you to heaven. And like, God doesn't want you to just be this like insecure beta male. To just be completely honest with you. It's just it's so sad, and every girl that catches a whiff of that video, that catches a whiff of that off of you, it's just so off-putting. She will end it. And you want to know what she'll say? She'll say the same thing that you've been told by every single girl before this, right? This is one of the things before Jordan Peterson, like I started disagreeing with him and not liking his content. One of the things that he said that really resonated with me, because I was the problem. Like, ultimately he goes, if every relationship ends the same way and it keeps coming up like over and over and over again, he goes, maybe the common denominator is you. He goes, maybe you're the one that's at fault, And like, you are, because every girl, this is what they say. This is what they always say. They go, because I know, because I was this guy and this did happen to me. And they did say these things to me. And they go, Tony, you're a great guy. You're too good for me. you're too good for me. And I feel like God's saying that I can't be with you right now. And something along those lines, right? They'll talk about how you're such a great guy, how you deserve the world, but I just can't be with you right now. I'm just, and you want to know all that translates to? All that translates to is I want a real man. I want a man that's not afraid. I want a man that's not like insecure.
Yeah. They don't want to have to be your emotional support,
Mm-hmm.
And like some of these people have way too high standards anyways.
Yeah.
They're like, they want their, Thomas GF. You're not going to get a Thomas GF. All right. And if you've met a girl who's into Thomism, you'll know, no, absolutely not. Like, you don't, a lot of people just need to get out of your own head. Stop thinking about it so much. Stop obsessing over it.
Yeah.
That's what's making you weird. Just treat them like they're people, and like, yeah, a lot of girls are thoughts. That's just true. But also a lot of guys are just losers. That's also true. So like, you can stop being a loser. You can't stop the girl from being a thought. So choose a girl that's not a thought, but you can also stop being a loser. So stop being a loser.
Get you a goth girl. You know what? You need some character building. Like you clearly need some like lore. You need
or Latina. Latinas will do it too. Yeah,
exactly. Latinas will do it too. Get you one of those two.
If you survive a Latina, you can do anything. You can do anything. You can climb Everest, man. Like that's a challenge.
If you like, because here's the thing. In honesty, sometimes it actually does, because these guys, they end up dating these really nice girls as well, right? But these really nice girls just they don't have the heart in them to like tell the men, this is what's wrong. This is what's wrong with you, because they think that's too mean. And so they just give them another line, another catchphrase that these guys.
Yeah, usually they won't tell you what's wrong with you.
And I've had to tell like my wife's friends when they like asked for advice, post breakup and stuff. I hear what they said, and I said, that's so dumb. Like you should just tell him what it is that was his problem, and you think it's really mean. And you're right. He might think in the moment that it's really mean. He might blow up at you, right? But a day later, 2 days later, he'll think about it and he'll go, that's the first woman that I ever was actually honest with me and told me,
yeah,
like,
I won't make that mistake again. Like, yeah, that's how you learn.
And so, like, you know what? To all the lonely Catholic guys out there that just go for a character building arc right now. Whether that's like genuine, like real, meaning no dating, no talking about dating for a couple of months, do some good for you. If you have girls, treat them as, acquaintances, friends, whatever, and keep your distance. Don't be this flirtatious idiot simp, because that's just that's the flip side of a simp, is the guy that just flirts with everybody, that just treats women like garbage, right? Actually build some confidence. Otherwise, you know what you should do? Go find you a crazy girl. That's the other character building arc. Go find you a girl.
Get some lore.
Get some lore. Go get have some like honest regret that after 6 months or 7 months with this girl, and you have some stories now, you go, that was good for me. I wish I would have never done that afterwards. However, you might actually grow in confidence because you found out a girl actually does like you, does find you attractive, all those things. But she also, keyed your car or something like that. I don't know.
One day on here, we'll have a lore stream. We'll go over some lore. I got some lore. You got some lore.
I got some lore. Because my lore was, I was too depressed to like I was a really nice guy, right? Like really nice guy. And then eventually I found out that I was hot in college, and then things changed. Because then my confidence just went sky high, and it, just became a game. But for, because of my depression though, it like saved me like 10 years of realizing that I have endless confidence if you just believe it. But do you have anything going on, Majorian, before we
I don't know, man. I'm supposed to make some videos. We'll see if I do. I need to bring my laptop into work so I can actually work on some stuff. But
dude, that would be great. And this is actually honest advice as well. Like, spend some time with the Lord. How about that? How about you create a relationship with God first before you try
Beta Latina, spend time with the Lord. This is the Latin Slavs dating advice.
This is the Latin Slav. Go get you a goth girl. All those memes on Instagram Reels, like, listen to them. No, but dude, that'd be sick. Sounds good. Sorry that work is slow.
Hey, I think it was a pretty good episode, to be honest. We ended up in a whole different world. I didn't think we were going to end up roasting him, but we did. I'm here for it.
No, I look, I'm trying not to call him out because he's friends of our friends.
I don't think he's a bad guy.
I don't think he's a bad guy. Like, I've actually tried to connect with him to some extent because I want to be his friend, because I do actually think he's a good guy and he's cool. But to another extent, like, those videos just get so underneath my nerves, and I want him to find a girl, right? Like,
I just want to shake him like by the neck and just go, like, get your shit together, bro.
Like, dude, you're great. Stop it.
Just stop thinking about it so much.
Dude, it's like, I have liked you for so long. Like, stop doing this. Like,
it's the women who have the biological clock. You don't need to rush. You're fine.
Yeah, we're supposed to be over in Europe. Come on, you've seen those memes about your biological clock and certain wars. Like, come on, like, just get on that arc, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah. Start posting videos of you deadlifting 405, and you'll feel 10 times better.
Real.
Let's see. Before we go, Sede Picante and I will be talking about RPE, rate of perceived exertion. I forget. It was the RPE of something. I'm like forgetting off the top of my head. He sent me questions. I haven't looked at them yet over things that we could discuss on Wednesday night. So depending on what time, it might be either like late Central Standard Time, Eastern Time, like really late, or it might be a good time.
Set AP was probably the favorite stream I've ever been on.
Dude, Set AP is hilarious. He's so funny. I have to be careful with my tongue because I'm in my what do you want to call it? Trying to get hired by the fire department arc. So which I don't think is that hard in terms of like they'll love me. But I also do have to be careful of things that I say.
I can still be crazy, guys.
I can't be too vociferous, you know what I'm saying? So I've got that, and then the Zealots Den. He slid into our chat tonight, so we'll be in touch. Like Majorian said, we actually have quite a list of people we want to bring onto the show, so we're excited.
Yeah, some people with we're pretty big.
Yeah,
apparently like us for some reason. Yeah. So we're gonna talk to them.
Like we said earlier, we're everyone's favorite Zoomers, apparently.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway,
I think it's the mustaches. Anyways,
yeah, it's the mustache. It's definitely the mustaches and the Nietzsche.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a great night, guys. Glory to Jesus Christ.